is the news that I needed this morning because I've been drinking lots of coffee to keep up with all the updates with Tropical Storm Bertha. We got a brand new one about 20 minutes ago. The National Hurricane Center giving us a new updated path, although it's very similar to the last one. The wind has also stayed the same, so sustained at 50, gusts at 65 miles an hour, and forward motions out of the northwest at 5 miles an hour. So it is expected to maintain its tropical storm force strength through about Wednesday afternoon. So until it reaches New Orleans. From there on out, it becomes a remnant low. That means the wind speed weakens. By the time it gets closer to Houston, the sustained winds from Bertha itself, or the remnants of, are at 35 miles an hour. That means that is the max wind force that we'll be able to feel here. I think more likely than not, we'll feel wind that's closer to the 20-mile-an-hour range. And then that continues through the weekend. Notice future track keeps most of the convection, most of the energy, the thunderstorm activity offshore. I think if I had to pick an area that is going to get a few inches of rain, it would be New Orleans. The Louisiana coastline is expected to see some shower activity. And then, yes, we've got a chance of seeing some of those rain showers here, but it's nothing more than a 20 to 30% possibility for the Thursday, Friday time frame. And we talked about the breeze, nothing more than 15 to 25 miles an hour for most of us. Tropical alerts. We've got watches and warnings in place. The yellow is a watch. The orange is a warning. Notice that's for Mobile, Alabama through New Orleans. And why do I think that is in effect? Mainly because of the wave heights. So yes, there's wind, but you'll notice most of that is offshore. However, as it starts moving towards the northwest, that forward motion, along with the motion of the storm itself, is going to push in some of these waves along the coastline and lead to the possibility of coastal erosion. Wave heights, I think, are going to be anywhere between 2 to 4 feet for those areas that have those watches and warnings in effect. We do not have any watches and warnings in effect. In terms of Bertha, we do have a heat advisory that I'll get to in a moment. We're starting off at 79 degrees for Galveston. Feels like 83. Hour by hour forecast looks like this. So we are going to get into the 80s here the next couple of hours, then the 90s. I think we top off in the upper 90s again for today under plenty of sunshine and humidity. The 90s will feel like the triple digits, up to 108 degrees. So that heat advisory goes into effect at 11 and it doesn't expire until 8 o'clock. What does that mean? Well, it just means you want to try and limit your time outdoors during that time frame, especially if you like to work out outdoors. Perhaps instead of going for the outdoor run, you opt for the indoor treadmill run. And if you work outside, you are being mindful to take breaks in the shade, in the AC, keep up with hydration, all of the heat health safety tips. Ooh, that's kind of a mouthful. 106 for this afternoon in Houston, and then tomorrow it could be even hotter. So I think maybe we see an extreme heat warning for tomorrow. The bottom line is it is going to be very hot today all the way through Thursday. Even Friday with that 30% rain chance, the heat is still around. This weekend looks nice. Rain wraps up, but it's still hot. That's not going anywhere until, of course, summer ends.
Yeah, the Houston heat just hangs on.